Hello, everyone. Don't be alarmed. The Federal Bureau of Control is still standing for the moment, and we aim to keep it that way. Welcome to Sound Goblin Thursdays here on Sound Goblin Gaming, as we continue and probably finish Control Ultimate Edition as we make our way through the Foundations DLC. I'm, as always, your host, the Krampus.
I'm Hunter Green.
And I'm Vincent.
Alright. Shiv will be joining us here momentarily.
Audio's good.
Alright, excellent. Of course, to hear it from Shiv's perspective, he'll have been here the whole time. Alright, so last time we found the Foundations, which is where the Bureau originally broke into the oldest house from, underneath it, and where they worked for a time until they finally found a way to stabilize the upper house and were able to move into it. There's this object down here called the Nail, which is some kind of focal point for astral energy, and the board of directors has decided that this is very important and is our top priority. We did 2 of the 4 branches last time. No. Okay, we're good.
We.
Oh, red damage boost. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, as I was saying before I fell, we did 2 of the 4 sections, and now we are making our way over to the 3rd. Oh, we are also in touch with the Forsaken.
Former.
There we go. Knew it was an F word. Who is a presumably member of the board that got exiled over some kind of dispute, and gave us swanky powers that the board did not want us to have.
It's really just an argument over where they should go for lunch.
You know, this can get fairly heated. Not in our group, but in other groups.
But the biggest problem with our group is having anyone be decisive.
Yeah.
Full of mods.
Full of mods. You. Rude. Oh. It's our most hated nemesis. Acrobats. Alright, fine. Do it that way. All roads lead to victory.
This area looks
Except for the ones that don't.
newer. Is it from the upper floors?
Haha!
There's something behind that his barrier.
Collapsed apartment.
Yeah, this is a piece of the oldest house that has just for some reason fallen back into the foundations.
Considering how much it moves around, that's not really a surprise.
Definitely true.
To whoever finds this, I am containment process designer Gene Gibbs, and I'm writing this document to the largest building shift, or writing this to document the largest building shift to ever occur. Here are the facts: a considerably large section of the containment sector, including the processes and protocols offices, our research facilities, and a fair chunk of the fire break, has been yanked down to a chasm that reaches far below lobby level. I think it was a violent shift. And I regret to report several casualties. Injuries were sustained by all, but many of us, myself included, are still mobile. We've set up a base camp and started triaging. There are little supplies. We've explored our surroundings and found caverns of all things. Maybe we're in some kind of cave threshold, like the quarry? Wherever we are, we're not the first. There were some rusty power cores, old lights, signs, infrastructure. What's this area used for? Why'd they seal it off? Why have we never heard of it? More importantly, how are we going to get out?
These questions and more have already actually been answered, but
Kiev summary. Kiev, AWE-37. A series of reverberating sound observed in downtown Kiev with no clear point of origin. The event was witnessed by the city's general public. Mental and physical symptoms were reported, including aphasia, sleep paralysis, and excess redacted in the reported individuals. Due to the brief nature of the event, Overseas Bureau agents were not able to respond while it was active. Immediately upon arrival, agents collected audio recordings taken by local witnesses. All Bureau monitoring stations located at global junctions of acoustic amplification were directed to monitor any auditory events of similar pitch, wavelength, and duration in an effort to trace the echoes or epicenters. In the following weeks, similar cases were reported from both various amateur sources and Bureau stations in major cities across the globe. Subsequent events diminished in volume and frequency per each occurrence. The event is believed to be generated by planar friction, though this is not confirmed. See file 71-849-062 for full hypothesis.
okay, that's more interesting for everything it didn't say.
Ranger to my location.
That's a spooky sound, but more needed to be said.
It's an honor, Director.
Indeed.
Although, like with most horror, what's most effective is what you're not saying.
Well, and also more to the point, it also gets at the idea that the Federal Bureau of Control operates basically everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, these are significant world-level threats. And the more organizations you have working on such stuff, the easier it is for shit to leak.
Well, I have to imagine one or two separate things, both of which can be true at the same time. Number one, probably the Bureau is acting in other countries with the same level of permission that we act in other countries. Permission being heavy air quotes.
Yeah.
And two, it's probable that most countries have some kind of analogous organization to the embassy. Again, going back to the inevitable comparisons between this and the SCP Foundation, there are a number of organizations besides the SCP Foundation that handle incidents like this, though a lot of them are holdovers from other times. The most prominent ones I can think of off the top of my head that are affiliated with the government are GRU Division P, which is the Russian paranatural unit. And the Vatican has a specific one. There you go.
I'm more surprised in the Russian case that it just wasn't also the KGB.
Yeah.
I mean, it's implied in various SCP Foundation documents and the quasi-canon the SCP exists in, that GRU Division P has priority control over most Russian intelligence, including the KGB.
They're the super KGB.
Essentially, yes. Partially because they're using paranatural technology to keep themselves in power in Russia.
And granted, KGB is not the actual name for it anymore, but it's
Right.
still.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's actually called anymore.
Doing a quick scan around here to see if I can find any documents as such. Seems like a prime location to be hiding them. And heck, technically speaking, in the SCP Foundation canon, there are even other organizations on par with the level of power the SCP organization has. There's the Global Occult Coalition, the GOC, who is more concerned with the retrieval and destruction of paranatural items than the research of them. Notably, the SCP Foundation frowns on actually destroying paranatural items, and prefer to keep them isolated and preserved indefinitely. Sometimes because they're useful, sometimes because they're curious, and sometimes because it's physically impossible to destroy them in the first place.
So the ones that can't be destroyed, obviously, you gotta seal them up and quarantine, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But on some of them, if they are destroyable, oh, they absolutely should be. That being said, Control isn't precisely the SCP stuff.
No, we've covered this before, but the Control Bureau more commonly...
Someone call a plumber.
Oh, no, this bathroom's gone. Dear House of Representatives, my husband Francis read an article before he died about how the universe was really just a computer program. He believed it. I thought it sounded silly, but now I think he was right. Francis was hit by a car a few months ago, a drunk driver. I don't think it was supposed to happen. My neighbor's son, Jeremy, broke one of our windows with a football a week before Francis died. Francis yelled at Jeremy for it. He was a bit harsh. This is important because I see Jeremy on his computer through their living room window. He's on it all the time. His mother says that he's a computer whiz. I think Jeremy is operating the computer program, and he changed the universe so that the driver would hit Francis. He did it to get back at Francis for yelling at him. Is there a way to change the computer and make Francis come back? I have some money if it's expensive. I don't know how these things work. I don't care if Jeremy gets in trouble or not, I just want Francis to come home. Francis and I were very happy together. I can feel him not being here, and I know it's not right. Sincerely, Stephanie Miller.
That one's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's legitimately kind of sad. Anyway, so as I was saying, this I think is used in another room over here. Oh, nope, never mind.
No, I think I saw it actually. That thing on the look down. That block.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
There we go. Cat.
Yep.
Okay, so as I've interrupted myself a couple times, trying to say, the Federal Bureau of Control most closely resembles the Unusual Incidents Unit, which is a in SCP universe FBI-controlled subsection that handles paranormal events. The joke being is that they handle them poorly. They're underfunded and understaffed, given no training on the paranormal, and are usually little better than beat cops, stumbling across things that can invert a human being's insides or something.
That's not too far off considering the amount of control agents we've completely eliminated from existence. Seriously, how many people are working for the FBC, or were rather, that has corrupted, that we've shot? A lot.
With the house effectively being infinite and us coming across new sections all the time that we're just hearing about, like this whole section we're running through that vanished one day and we're only seeing because we're running through the foundations of the house. It's hard to guess how many people they've got working for them. It's a pretty substantial amount. Yeah, we got metal in our pockets. Control point, actually touch this. And get the surge up to level 2. Level 3, sorry. Oh, supplement on Kiev.
Nice.
Recordings of the audio phenomenon were uploaded onto the internet shortly after the event. These records circulated rapidly on popular message boards. The communications department utilized this exposure by creating Sky Trumpet hoax videos and posting related theories to spread confusion and draw attention away from the event's paranatural origin. Industrial noise, particularly the sound of metal drilling, was found to be a widely accepted explanation. Theories about the sounds emanating from the Earth itself, known as a seismic hum, emerged from the public itself and were encouraged by the Bureau to generate further misdirection of the eventual public disinterest. Witnesses of the event were monitored discreetly afterwards. Observed symptoms were consistent with redacted deprivation, but subsided after 12 to 15 days. The length of the symptoms directly correlated to the individual's proximity, unsheltered, to the supposed epicenter. One linked, although accidental, casualty can be listed. See report regarding the effects of planar friction on hearing aids in file 14-200-1010.
You're listening to America Overnight, a beacon in the darkest recesses of possibility for more than 29 years. We have another letter from a listener. This one's unsigned but postmarked from Toledo. It says, "Dear America Overnight, I have the most wonderful appliance for your listeners. It is a miracle of God. A fondue set. A fountain. A blessed gift. Blessed is spelled with a capital B. Go on, they write. Dive on in. It is molten hot. Perfect for meat. No signature. As far as I know, no fondue set was sent to us here at the studio. Just this letter. Wait. I think there's something else in the envelope. Some kind of black powder. With white shards in it? Bone, maybe? Karen, Karen, where are you? What's this powder in the booth? Is this ash? Oh God. Karen? How do I cut to commercial?
Okay then.
We actually heard about the fondue set earlier.
Yeah.
It is molten hot. Perfect for meat. Although apparently not. It charred the fuck out of Karen.
Yep.
Shift account, part 2. Gibbs reporting in. It's been 8 days since the collapse and still no sign of any rescue efforts. The Bureau is either completely unaware of our situation or are incapable of helping us. Maybe it's intentional. How many times have we seen the Bureau not give two shits about its own hard-working staff when they go missing in this place? How many times do we let it slide, thinking, oh, at least it wasn't me? Too many, I'm ashamed to admit. Anyway, there have been some developments. Strange crystals have begun going through the walls. Seem to block some corridors, but not others. The path to the caves is always left open, but we're not sure why. Luckily, the crystals keep out the astral spike. One's been hounding us for days. John, Nicolay, and Sarah went to find a radio. Never came back. We think a spike got him. I think it's hunting us. Doug says spikes only exist on the astral plane. So what the fuck is it doing here? If we get out of here, I'm hiring a lawyer. These are unsuitable working conditions.
Yeah, I get the feeling that's not going to work.
Yeah, good luck.
So that's the altered item. Looks pretty secure.
We build until nothing remains. The egg cracker and the true spirit will challenge out of you. You are home. You remind us of home. You've taken your boss, because your boss is with you. All hair must be under the conceptual reality behind its reality. You must want these ways to drink.
The reason I'm pausing here is because this is a different chant than we usually have.
Ah.
Breaking the first, the second, the third, the fourth floor, the fifth floor, no floor, the fall floor, you fall. How do you say insane? Hurts to be happy. When your mind gets true and you can't stop hunting in a dream. Just last day.
Can't really make it out, unfortunately.
And nothing.
A little bit, but I mean, his chanting is,
I should hire someone who builds smaller machines.
you're not wrong. His chanting is largely somewhat nonsensical in the first place.
Yep.
Very powerful. Oh, wait.
Well, I was able to throw it through two solid objects, so forgive me for thinking I could do it through a
No altered material detected in area. Personnel may now safely enter. Have a bureau full day.
Oh, see, that was so bad it summoned monsters.
I was gonna say fire that person.
Ah, acrobats. Oh! Alright, that was an L. Nailed myself with an explosive barrel. Friend. Ah, good. Ah, I guess it's just a straight bit of level geometry. I saw the sign. I just opened up my eyes and saw the sign.
It said elevator out of order.
Brian's Movie Den. Brian's Movie Den. Brian. Welcome to another episode of Brian's Movie Den with me, the ever-lovable Brian Hinnerman. Today I want to talk about a new film I found at Movie Night. That's night with a K, the mecca for VHS aficionados in the greater Dallas area. Yeehaw! The movie is called Delivery Disaster. We open in media res. A mailman drives a truck full of packages down in an endless American neighborhood as a pack of rabid dogs chase behind. Now, these dogs are nothing like my stepmom's corgi Chuck. These were some real nightmare hellhounds. The dogs keep pace with the mail truck, tearing chunks out of the driver's legs and arms. Each package he throws out the door is marked by his bloody handprint. He screams in pain and confusion, and this goes on until the movie just abruptly ends. There aren't even any credits, which is a pretty bold choice. Is this film a commentary on how our 9-to-5 jobs are killing us, or how hostile the modern world is to outdated concepts like mailmen? Perhaps it's merely a statement about the futility of purpose and how no task can ever be really done. There are lots of ways to interpret it, but for now, let's get to the part you're all waiting for. It's score time. I give this film a 4 out of 5
only because the actor frequently broke the fourth wall by looking into the camera and shouting at it, like he was shouting at the audience. A little too on the nose for me, but I did enjoy it, and I recommend you check out other films produced by Blessed Pictures. Bike Hard and Coffee Bullet are the only others I found, but this little art house studio certainly knows how to push the boundaries of Western cinema. And a friendly reminder that there will be no new episode next week, as I will be visiting my aunt in Delaware for Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening, all you Brian fans, and remember, we all love movie magic, but don't forget about the you magic. Until next time, Movie Den. Brian's Movie Den. Movie Den. Brian.
Public access radio was a mistake.
I'm fairly certain that's a recording from like a YouTube channel or something, or at the very least
Probably.
a public access television show.
Possibly that. But that was definitely the theme they were going with.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going with some kind of like public access. New language. For immediate publication, I learned a brand new language. The fish taught me. Probably don't believe me, so I will prove it. Kulilel miuti jermilubatsu sumaniku kido kido ort pipohorum ilun rek ibuit 1455 Osperson Club Hinu 20222 Quidi whip ilun ein yum ret busum quim walten zibini rob. See? Please publish this letter, and maybe other fish speakers will get in touch. They'll be able to read my address, even if you can't. Jibini Rog, Larry Humbert.
That's just Finnish.
Of course, a language for fish. Finn. It's got Finn in the title. Movie camera supplement. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after a hospitalized mailman from redacted Arkansas claimed his injuries had been caused by a movie camera. Further investigation connected the incident to AI-80, which was being shipped in the mail truck at the time. The packaged camera was later found in an empty warehouse. A return address led agents to a P.O. box located in the San Fernando Valley, belonging to a company called Blessed Pictures. Whether Blessed Pictures is involved in the creation and dissemination of the item's VHS films is unknown. See Investigation 13-HQ-612. The following is a list of all known films believed to have been shot by AI-80-UE. Shoot First, Die Last, unreleased. Coffee Bullet, Billy's First Car, Bike Hard, Delivery Disaster. Item was used in the filming of an unreleased western in 1968 on the Italian island of Sardinia. A cast member was killed during an on-set accident stopping production. It's believed that Blessed Pictures bought the camera when the equipment from the shoot was sold at auction.
Also, the island of Sardinia sunk. No one actually noticed.
Also, I will put out a disclaimer. If that was in fact Finnish, and Vincent isn't making a joke, then I do apologize for my absolute slaughtering of the language.
I'm pretty sure it's not actually Finnish, though not 100%.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were going to say you were gonna apologize for the joke about it being a language for fish. I'm pretty sure the Finnish believe their language is a language for fish.
I
You
was
would
just
be
going for
fine.
the easy pun.
Yes.
Shift account part 3. It's clear no one's coming. We're running out of ideas and supplies. We tried going into the caves to find anything edible, but all we found were noxious gases and endless pits. The crystals only let us go one way, even though we could see the caves branched out. We did find some weird spiky pillar. We got a glimpse of it before the astral spikes attacked. There were a few of them this time. We lost a lot of people. Only 6 of us left. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want to come down here. I'm convinced something brought us here. The others say I'm going nuts, but it's clear that this was no house shift. Shifts slide a bathroom a sector over, or rotate a hallway. They don't drop full divisions into some caves. We were brought here, I know it. For what? Why tear us away from our lives just to torture us? Is this some test or mission? Then here's some advice for whoever's running it. Give out clearer instructions next time. These notes are a good read for whatever ranger finds them. Fuck you. Put that in your report. Gibbs.
They gave perfectly clear instructions. You just have to be able to view the 8th dimension to actually read them. Wait, can you not do that?
Who should I be listening to? Weird entity A or B? Or neither? Let's just stay the course for now. The Bureau's in danger. We know we need to repair the nail. The astral plane won't break reality on my watch.
We're actually not going in there yet, because there's one more thing I want to do here.
Okay, it is definitely not finish.
There's what we're looking for. So, for reference, this
Properly
is
trained.
the...
Guess I pass. I am very properly trained.
This is the AEWE that I thought was in the Alan Wake one. But is actually here in the Foundation. I was thrown off because I'd forgotten a section of the Bureau was in the Foundation here. We've actually already been introduced to it.
I remember that camera. How the hell did it get out? Are they shooting movies now?
Oh, I'm actually familiar with this part. And how much people hated it.
Yeah, so welcome to what I think is one of the hardest combat sections in the entire game.
After that camera! And step on it!
Takes a sweet ass time too.
Yep.
That is the first problem you run into here. This section is long. There are no checkpoints.
Ah.
I will clarify there are no checkpoints for dying.
Yeah.
There are checkpoints if you hit the
No
barriers,
way
which
am I
lose a little
sharing
bit of
this
health. So we've had platforming and we've had combat.
So now we get platforming combat?
Yeah. After another rousing round of platforming.
Okay then. Up and then not up.
problem I have with this section is that you have to make a lot of leaps of faith, and Jessie's maneuvering very quickly puts her out of the platform.
Thought you could lose me, huh?
Camera.
Almost had it.
Music's pretty nice though if you're into synthwave.
Yeah.
I do not care about maintenance targets. Shit.
Yeah, you floated for too long.
Why won't you die?
Well, that's really the third act villain. Has a lot of help.
Ah! In the third act, Shiv has shown up, just in the nick of time.
He's been here the entire time. What are you talking about?
Well, this would be a great place to stop. Unfortunately, we've only done this twice.
No, thankfully they're showing mercy on us.
Oh, okay.
That's surprising.
Wait, what?
Not following the rule of three.
Back? Did that really just happen? Felt like a dream. Or maybe a bad movie.
That. Definitely that.
Yeah. Movie camera procedures. The Action Max camera, AI-80-UE. The item should be isolated from any person or event that is objectively interesting, since its effect is activated by the presence of dramatic incidents. A movie camera used to make commercial feature films. Internal mechanisms are unremarkable. Subjects near the item will often experience a torqued version of reality, resembling the heightened drama and action of a movie. Whether these events are localized alternate realities or products of hallucination is currently unknown. Additionally, the item seems to record footage from these incidents and creates VHS copies, edited in the style of short films. During their investigation, agents learned that a podcast titled Brian's Movie Den, it's a podcast, had reviewed the item-generated movie Delivery Disaster. The podcast creator, Brian Hennerman, was taken for questioning. The staff of Movie Night, the store Mr. Hennerman rented the film from, were also questioned to no effect. Alright.
As it turns out, they were all just clueless twats. Also, for Ray, we deal with the camera, I guess.
Yep, dealt with the camera. I mean, considering it's a Blessed Pictures item and a Blessed item cinders a woman, turned a woman to cinders, that was a fondue set.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's better we just keep the Blessed items off the table. Keep them as docile as possible.
There's the etching.
Yep, sure is.
We are not owned / corn cobbed. Yes, now that we have the pull, part of the repair procedure of the various bureaus now involves pulling material. You know, all these squares make a circle.
They sure changed their tune all of a sudden.
Every time I see the flashes of the completed nail, I can't help but think of the crown from Cult of the Lamb.
I'm overthinking this whole board former thing. They can sort out their own business so long as it doesn't get in my way. Obsessing over these problems is something Trench would do. But I've got my intuition. And you.
And this gun. And roughly 70 cents in my pocket.
I should really figure out about getting paid for this job.
What do you mean? We have 70 cents in our pocket. Right, I have to go to a spot. Yes. Aha! Goodies. There's no goodies up here, but heck of a view.
Yep.
Little cat. Hey, Nail's getting better.
Yep.
Stop it real quick. Spend some points. Max out some health.
Out of health we can buy.
And we'll spend the rest on levitation duration.
If it isn't my favorite director. The nail is almost repaired. You really do have a knack for this kind of work.
Any progress with the nail?
Of course. I've been busy with surface analysis. Its composition is remarkably similar to that of material found in the astral plane, but it alters itself between my observations. It's almost as if it doesn't like being examined.
So the nail is from the astral plane?
Not necessarily. See, if we assume that, we're suddenly facing a lot of new questions. How did something so large get out of the astral plane? How did it get inside the oldest house? Did a threshold bring it in? Did people? Maybe through the motel.
Maybe it was always here.
Doubtful.
Have you spent any time looking into the crystals growing around here?
As if I could resist. The biggest question is where it comes from. A threshold? Or is it native to the Foundation? But if so, why doesn't it grow in the rest of the oldest house? The fact that they returned to an earlier state when damaged is severely inconsistent with our reality's adherence to linear time. So either they're A, partially conscious, or B, organic elements that are foreign to and yet influenced by our dimension. The jury's still out. Have you learned anything about the crystals?
I have a power that lets me stretch them.
Huh.
Yep. Any idea what Marshall would be doing down here?
That information is on a need-to-know basis, Faden. Sorry, I can resist. But honestly, I never had much interaction with Marshall. She only came to me when she was looking for Darling. But this is Helen Marshall we're talking about, the woman who single-handedly dealt with the Birkin Peak AWE. If she's down here, it's because she needs to be.
Well, clearly she couldn't handle this one on her own.
I'll see you later.
You get a ring from the hotline. Heard
Take
that.
notes.
Screw you. Alright. We only have one other section to do. Oh, technically. Okay, let's check something. Okay, no, that section down in the bottom left hand. That's still question marks. I think we do later. Going to the warehouse.
This is the director. I need a ranger at this location immediately.
Send rangers to the warehouse. History of the Oldest House. The Oldest House has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation, but many questions remain. Primarily, the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? The house has changed shape over its lifetime, as I've theorized. Was a tree its first form? I sent a team to the Schwartzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discovered a single relevant line, and there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believed some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it's hardly firm evidence, and though I am now bound to the oldest house, I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees. Yggdrasil, the tree of knowledge, Yax Imikshi. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman powers. New York City's many murders act as sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me?
I haven't heard a tale of a tree that was at one time a demon who was the wind.
No, no, no.
Saddened from the events he had in his life, turned himself into a tree.
I've been going through my library, researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board, as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts: past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interestingly, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal human. Naturally, the ascendant is masculine and the fall is feminine, Adam and Eve. That's just a bit of old-world patriarchy. It's 1964 now, and we're well past that silliness. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be? Or they once were? The likeliest answer is simply that theological imagery cannot help us define alien entities. Still, the pyramid seems significant. Shapes have power, and clearly so does the board. Look, you don't need to convince Sound Goblin Gaming of the power of the Tricky Triangle. Or Master Center.
So the demon fell in love with a woman.
No, no.
Fell in love with some
Stop
woman.
that. Stop that.
Wanted to make love to her. So made a bed.
Is this a Bureau ID badge? It looks so old. Hope will definitely want to see this.
What sort of knowledge does the Bureau have about Death Graveyard?
We have numerous death objects.
Most of them are just objects.
So,
Somebody put death in the front of them.
Objects that kill.
Oh, like Death Gun.
Yeah, the gun that kills people.
Weird place to leave an ID card, but
ugh.
okay.
Yeah, there's a whole menagerie of items. Death playing cards, death bed, death graveyard, death slight incline.
Death Cadillac.
Death Cadillac. Death luggage.
28 days now spent inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research Father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar where Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base. Ley lines, dragon roads, Hylogalinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. We'll see when I'm done. I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
It's fine. The only thing that's going to, the only thing you're going to end up learning at the crossroads is how to play the blues.
Speaking of eyes, after making love to the woman,
God damn
this
it.
killed her because he was a demon. And so sad was the demon that the demon's glass eye shattered. The blood from his eyes went on the bed, creating a death bed.
A bed that eats.
A bed that eats.
And the
The
demon
first
turned
known
himself into a
instance-
tree.
Yeah, that's obviously that's what it's a tree demon. I don't see how this doesn't follow.
Another ID card. For a cartographer.
This place is surprisingly absent of combat. It's like they remember they could just put an exploration section in, never mind.
Had to say something, didn't you?
Yeah.
Remember, you can never tell when a roving acrobat might appear. Unfortunately, Jessie cannot make it through this section. Just absolutely cannot. It is impossible for Jessie to make her way through this opening.
I think it's opening that is clearly big enough for her to easily fit through.
No. It's far too big.
This section is actually a very interesting, like, vertical segment. Where we're mostly making our way up the warehouse. After numerous attempts, I finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the Power Core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone in the Foundation's cavern possesses such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't yet know the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace.
Also, that word is Aristotelian.
Aristotelian?
Yes. I mean, you're right, it is Aristotle related, but...
Say it one more time.
Aristotelian.
Aristotelian. Got it. Aristotelian. I believe. Is there a... No, there's no window here.
entry day plus 51.
I'll be back.
Northmore has ordered
Yep.
an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes, and frequently mentioning the pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect. Oddly enough, Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection, but I don't see it yet. As far as occult symbols go, triangles are by no means rare. Flood, Levi, Kroll, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion. Standing on their base, triangles signify stability and strength. Inverted on their points, they represent conflict and stagnation. Of course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another. Northmore says he looks up at the inverted pyramid. I have to wonder, is anyone standing over it, looking down?
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
I feel bad about the ranger that we called out and left down there for no good reason.
He's fine.
I'm sure the director will be right back.
I'll just guard this place where there's no hiss.
Around for stuff.
Ah.
Pile of smoking rubble.
Marshall blew up the nail. What the hell was she thinking?
Well, let's find out what she was thinking.
The hiss got in. The Foundation is overrun. I was out of time and out of options. I took all the C4 I could get my hands on and strapped it to the nail. Boom. A desperate move. But it's better off in pieces than in enemy hands. Trench wouldn't be thrilled. He always said how vital the nail was. How it was the Bureau's duty to protect it. Bullshit. Those years spent in the director's chair warped his priorities. In the end, he valued order over people, the advice of invisible voices over that of old friends. He lost sight of who he was. The board made sure of that. But I did my duty. The Hiss can't corrupt a pile of smoking rubble. My last act as head of operations. I'm done. At least I could take those bastards down with me.
Think we have this one still that we haven't listened to?
I snuck into the Foundation through a back door I know. Had to get ahead of the Hiss. Just a matter of bypassing the ritual protections. Luckily, the board's as distracted as the rest of the Bureau. I had to put on a brave face up there, but the situation is the worst I've ever seen. We're getting back on our feet, but we've already lost so much. Trench is dead. Darling is somewhere. I'm the only one left. But I still have a job to do. Keep the Hiss back. There's not enough HRAs to spare, so I'll have to make do with what I've got. Frankly, I don't even know what will happen if the Hiss take the nail. Trench made it sound like it'd be the end of the world. He was never one to exaggerate. Well, orders are orders, even if they come from a dead man.
Yeah, so, not that it needed much spelling out, but there it is, as to how she got in and what she's doing down here. Basically just making sure the Hiss don't take the center of all ley lines.
Yeah.
Meteor Hill Supplement. Note, per archival mandate 8.a, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. The retrieved material was subjected to Fellstrom's array, configuration 74-B, but the tests were halted as the matter began to physically elude the equipment. Attempts to constrain the element were made, but under further stress, it became vaporous. The researchers suffered corrosive injuries prior to their deaths. The child victims at Meteor Hill recounted the material enveloping in a pleasant manner upon making contact, but when discovered, they were redacted and screaming. Bodily changes were perceived immediately. Deformities, loss of pigment in the skin and hair, and mental symptoms surfaced in subsequent examinations: confusion, heightened aggression. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions gave statements claiming the incident was caused by debris from poorly made Russian satellites, which the public accepted with no complications. The children were sent to the Bureau's recuperation facility in Redacted to receive help, away from society. Full on mods again. good. Here first. That's the actual one. Of course, we have to go around to the side for more goodies.
Obviously.
A smorgasbord of goodies. My explorations on the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. These tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone, quite different from the cave's categorization-defying rock. Their placement and form are also too intentional to be naturally occurring. Who braved this place to carry them in? For what purpose? I discovered a 5-point macro entanglement between the tablets, with a pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they the visual narration of some event? Do they indicate an intent, a wish, a plan? They only seem to consist of a tree and the pillar, but the sizes of either are inconsistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of this puzzle, and it's unlikely I'll ever find them. Pull the elevator up to this level. bring the power core all the way up here?
No idea. Possibly.
Oh.
You need the power core to get the elevator up higher so you can get that node.
Ah, got it. Oh, considering it fell all the way back down, it is probably respawned back at
Level 2.
Back to level 2. Ah, did not respawn.
Oh, I have to go find it.
Yep. Fell down somewhere on the base floor, so. There it is.
Alright, so we plug this rock in instead.
I mean, these are partially made from the rocks in the area, so.
Right, now just quick travel back up to that point you have up top.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's fine. We're already going up now.
Yeah.
Do.
This is the elimination room.
Warehouse.
There, house.
A hidden control room.
All right, this is the last one.
Oh, surprise. Acrobats. What did I tell you? When you least expected, an acrobat shows up.
You should just always expect an acrobat to show up.
Die.
Or thing.
It just exploded. Alright.
I can't believe Marshall's brilliant plan was to blow up the nail.
Oh, I can.
And she thought I wasn't ready.
To be fair, this is your first day on the job, Jesse.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, this is post-ending.
Ah, true.
Or
Pyramid. What does the pyramid mean?
There. Easy as pie. Fuck. But that's the last one. I fixed it, didn't I?
Alright, well.
yeah, I don't think you can fly for that long.
Holy shit.
There we go. Summon the big bridge!
Are we gonna battle on it?
No.
Unfortunate.
Oh, thank God. What the hell was all that? Things should be better now, not worse. Emily will know. I hope.
We got a new hotline. promise. Fingers crossed. Well, let's go ahead and make our way back then. Surely everything is fine now, right?
Check it back now.
Sure.
What did you do? What is causing these tremors?
I thought you could tell me. I completed the 4 rituals just like the board told me to. The astral bleed should have stopped.
Look, it has stopped. The nail is repaired. But we have a new problem. My analysis of the nail indicates that it is literally a piece of the astral plane. Or possibly a vessel containing the astral plane. Or both. Either way, right now both dimensions are vibrating at completely incompatible frequencies. The spatial friction they are generating is incalculable. It's going to destroy both planes.
I messed this all up. Maybe Marshall was right to destroy the nail. I should have left it in pieces.
No, then the astral plane would still be leaking in. Sometimes there's no right answer, Jesse. We need more information.
No. I need to fix this now. I'll figure something out.
No, we should really make a plan. The tremors are originating from directly below us, but we don't know what...
Perfect. I'll head down and take care of whatever's going on.
Oh, for fuck's sake, will you listen?
Jesse, you can't just...
I have to, Emily. I'm the director. This is on me.
Learning all the wrong lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before we go down, I found these ID cards. Are you interested in them?
Jesse, you're back. So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind.
Like their ID cards. I picked up a weird one. It's pretty old.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me.
Are you starting a collection?
I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find, anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research. From what I gather, there is another floor beneath the warehouse with a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just to access. Here, take this. It's an old skeleton key. Something else the Rangers found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me.
I'm gonna assume this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Well, keep your eyes...
He's a bit weird like that.
ID cards around the warehouse. If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the magic number. Don't be a stranger.
I have ID cards. We have found 3 so far.
It's the director.
See this giant hole? Hole that's leading down to unstable resonance could rip the fabric of reality? That can wait. It's mystery time.
Of course.
I need to pull up a guide to figure out where these other 2 cards are.
What's the name of the quest?
Pope's Collection. Hey, I'm puzzling here.
This cares not for your non-combat parts of gameplay.
I hate those floater guys.
The elevator room. That's on. Okay, so the very first one is inside the tower. Cannot be accessed using the elevator. Go around the tower, and there should be a location that has climbable, like all the rocks.
Another one of those ID cards. Security chief.
That one. Buildings, I'm pretty sure we got that. That was just the platform next to the tower. I'm pretty sure we got that. That was just in one of the buildings. I'm pretty sure we got that.
Is there one inside the actual room itself?
No. The fifth one is on the lowest floor of the tower. Go around the tower and locate the entrance. Look like a double door entrance on the bottom on the lowest level from outside.
I found the entrance. Now I just...
Yep.
God damn it! Pile of hit points to both of them. Better have stuff for them, so good. There we go.
This ID card was for an excavation engineer. Why did so many people abandon their cards down here?
Dr. Ash, as Chief Excavation Officer, it's my job to support the research team, so I got you your machine for that ridiculous sand research project. However, it's also my responsibility to ensure the safety of my crew. Do you know how many trips it takes to get an entire bulldozer down here piece by piece? And do you know how many of my guys we lost in those trips? Here's a hint. Too fucking many. Which brings me to my point. I'm writing to you today because of this quest form that just landed on my desk. Apparently you want a lightweight 1 or 2 man military-grade helicopter for the purpose of surveying the vast expanse of columns by air. I bet you'd even stop to wonder how much time, money, effort, and blood this toy would cost us. Well, no sir, I am sorry, but I will not subject my men to another month of marching through that death trap upstairs. For Christ's sake, these people have families. Not that they ever get to see them anymore. Request denied. Lewis McNary. Subject out of your damn mind.
Out of your damn mind.
This is obviously the excavation guy.
Ah.
This is the cartographer. Security chief's got all the guns. Head of research, I am guessing, is the papers down here. Oh, no, never mind. That's not the one. This is the physicist. He's got the Newton's cradle there. All the gadgets. The guy with the picture of the entire board has to be the head of research.
It worked. Now I just have to get on a rickety elevator that goes who knows how.
I see you out there and I don't care.
Oh.
You can take your telekinesis and just shove it in an uncomfortable place.
Still.
That's uncomfortable.
Okay. That should do something.
I don't know why we're turning it, but my god, we're turning it.
Why would they need such a heavy door down here?
Shit. That startled me. Oh, it's got a laser.
Uh-huh.
Process designer Gibb.
Oh, hi, Gibbs. Sorry your department got shunned down here.
I'm not. Guy clearly deserves it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, I mean, if this is how he's gonna act.
Well, he can't help it. He got fifth corrupted.
Okay, just give him a Snickers. This whole thing goes away.
Watch that laser turn.
Laser's indeed hot.
Hot like fondue.
Not that hot.
Alright.
This looks like a nail, only mini. A document. Is this in some kind of code? Can't read a word of it. I should take this back to Emily.
to Dr. Theodore Ashe Jr. As the director of the Federal Bureau of Control and chosen representative / liaison / benefactor of the greater authority of the board, I demand your immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Prior memos issued broadly to Foundation staff called for swift reassignment of all personnel to the upper levels of the House. All staff complied except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the board itself. This is their house, and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally, such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this my final warning. The board and Director Ashe chose me as successor to the office, and no amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension, better than the board. Permit me to assure you that this is not possible. Sincerely, Director Broderick Northmore.
And tell her I got into Ash's secret lab.
No typewriters. Look, I feel justified in our little jaunt, considering the world hasn't ended yet. I think they're just blowing this out of proportion.
I found Ash's secret lab. Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details.
Well, there was another cave. The walls were covered in paintings of eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kinda smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ashe was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ashe had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? It looks like a transcribed conversation between Ashe and someone named F. Ooh. Oh, this is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation, Emily?
What's that?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse. If you're not gonna listen to me, then you better go figure out how to stop this. There's no telling what could happen if the vibrations escalate.
I'll see you later.
Take notes.
Alright, into the hole.
Don't be a stranger.
That was just the top of the nail? How much deeper does the foundation go?
Entry day plus 118. I have changed, though it's hard to know how or why. I no longer need tools to detect the house's veins, to hear it breathe. I can feel its blood churning beneath my bare feet. I have added my own illustrations to the walls, trying to solve some mystery that the oldest house whispers to me. I have to avoid the it as I do so. They haunt me. I don't blame them. They're just following the Pillar's orders. Even poor Adam doesn't seem to recognize me anymore. I've spent a long time contemplating the etchings of the tree and its roots. Did you know this city used to be a forest? I wonder if our oldest house wore a different face back then. Or if it was always here. A 21st century office building since time immemorial. Can a place know the future? Can it change its skin? Can it wander? I always thought the esoteric world was my father's, not mine. But here, in this sacred place, I finally understand his devotion and his awe.
My crystals are growing like crazy. They're trying to stop me.
Astral spike. HRA was damaged. The board said it.
When Marshall blew up the nail, the board attacked her. I don't fucking like it.
I tried to get out after the detonation, but the astral spike came out of nowhere. I escaped, but my HRA was damaged. I'd bet a year's salary the board said it. We never did see eye to eye. They have too much control over Trench, the Bureau, the House. They make themselves part of every important process. Nothing a little C4 can't fix. 2 birds, 1 bomb. Christ, what a mess. But I stopped the hiss. I did it. If Faden did her part, then the Bureau's safe. Until the next thing. Jessie has good reason to hate the Bureau. But that could be what we need right now. She won't follow the same path. Won't fall into the same traps. She'll lead her way. So, Director Faden, here's my last lesson. You can't save everybody.
There's one more thing actually I just need to check. Oh yeah, we got the full Meteor Hill AWE.
Ah.
Meteor Hill, AWE-3. Note, per archival mandates 8A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. This paradimensional occurrence consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes, induced by subterranean implosions revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived on the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure that all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized being the dissipated elements vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. This, make this our fast travel point. Last point of limitation.
Nobody else hears the house. Their ears are too full of lies. We were shown the way inside so we could help. But all we've done is fall victim to the same parasite. I should have seen the web earlier. The strands between Northmore, the pillar, the gun, the id. What hope did we have? Thrown into this conflict beyond our comprehension. I've decided to rejoin the Bureau in the upper levels to end my long absence spent in the Foundation. Northmore will be angry at me for disobeying him. That's just his way. But I don't care. I need to remain in the oldest house to help however I can. I doubt I can steer the Bureau back on the right course, but I have to try. How did I go so long without a purpose? Without devotion? I can hardly remember how it felt. I realize how grateful I am to Father for setting me on this path. I wish I could tell him that.
Send a ranger to my location.
Let's put him down!
Alright. It's time for the final boss.
Ah.
Marshall? You're alive.
Soon you will no longer recognize us, or yourself, or him, or her, or them. Family is dead. The walls are broken, but yellow and red in the eye.
God damn it.
Inverted is made right.
You fuckers take everything. I am not letting you take this.
You've always been the new you. You want this to be true.
Yeah, our final boss, and probably one of the best combat segments, is Marshall.
Not surprising. Like, not saying that it isn't well, like, foretold or set up, but just kind of what I expected.
Because apart from the final boss of the main campaign, which is just throwing a bunch of enemies at you, but giving you superpowers so they're trivial to beat, Marshall is a test of everything you've learned. Marshall throws grenades like the big guys. Marshall teleports around. And Marshall periodically runs into the little places with spikes in them. Hey, we even get some of that infight as the former sends sniper guys.
Ah.
Aha! Now we have tamed an acrobat. It's not a tough boss fight.
No.
It does require you to think.
The nail is corrupted. That explains why the board wasn't answering and what's causing the quakes. Marshall came down here to stop this. I should have been with her. I could have saved her. But I can still save everyone else. fuck you too.
Oh,
God damn it.
I'll be sure to.
Let's play it smart. They don't need to know I'm onto them. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, hey, buddy.
The nail is secure. The hiss can't touch it. I can't undo the astral bleeding in the Foundation, but at least it's stopped.
Along with the seismic activity. You did it, Jesse. Did you ever find Marshall?
I did. She's gone. She died thinking she'd save the Bureau. Not a bad way to go.
I pummeled her repeatedly with rocks in the
I
face.
wasn't ready for this crisis.
Okay,
Oh.
she probably deserved it.
I mean, you pull everything repeatedly
It
with rocks
was
in the face.
a mess.
I'll be ready for the next one. I mean,
She was not ready
what
for the
good is
next
a director who can't hold her Bureau together?
The Foundation. A black screen.
A black screen.
I thought I know how to handle things, now that I'm the director. Clearly, it's not that simple. I need to choose a direction for the Bureau. It should be one that serves our goals, not the board's. Whatever those are. I need to lead my way.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, that is the end of the Foundation DLC. And with the end of the Foundation DLC, that is the end of Control. So, closing thoughts. I'll start.
Alright.
Control, I believe, is the best game that Remedy has made so far. Both in terms of storytelling and in terms of like actual moment-to-moment gameplay and combat. There's still some rough edges there. And unfortunately their next game is such a departure from this that they really don't give us the chance to see if they've sanded away those edges yet. But even after playing Alan Wake 2 and seeing the other stuff they come out with, I still think Control is their high point so far. And I am super excited to see what they do in this same setting, especially if it means going to see more like altered world events and weird stuff outside the Foundation.
You mean the oldest house?
Oldest house, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? If anyone has anything to say.
Give me a minute, I'm still putting thoughts together.
That's fine.
Then I'll go.
Alright.
It does a lot of stuff really well. But it also has some glaring issues that I wish game developers would understand. Flashing lights are never good. And picking a single color and focusing entirely on it to the point where it can obscure everything is bad decision. This game is rife with it. There are many points in this game from what I saw you playing that I would hate playing just because it would be a visual assault on the eyes. Story-wise, it is fine. It does a lot of really good setup. It does a lot of really good bait and switch.
On the color thing, how do you feel about that one, Krampus? Because we are actually getting a lower res picture than you do on your monitor. So I'm not sure if that's.
I think
So
the biggest thing isn't so much color as it is brightness. Because they chose a brutalist sort of like, concrete gray for most stuff and highlight it with occasional bits of color, they really needed to alter the brightness so that you could see, or at least have an idea of where you're going, even in dark areas. I have the brightness fairly cranked up for this game.
Okay.
Which is why a lot of stuff looks washed out, because otherwise I have a hard time making things out.
What I'm referring to color is there are points where the screen is just flooded with red.
Yeah.
And it makes it very tough to see what's going on.
This is a more accurate representation of what they want this to look like. You can see, like, if I drop it 20 points, it's also pitch black.
Yeah.
In the darker areas, yeah.
Yeah. In Foundation, it's not so bad because there's a lot of, like, open lights from the sky and floodlights and whatnot, but...
Oh, when you start doing, like, other sections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do actually kind of like the somewhat compartmentalized storytelling. My biggest gripe is, could we get some... I mean, I understand for the base game to some extent. Can we get something other than the hiss at a certain point?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, I presume they get around doing, Control 2, that they'll do something besides a hiss.
God, I hope so.
I mean, this seems to be set up as the hiss or stop.
Well,
wow, waited till the very end. Hold on real quick.
Huh.
Gotta do a ban.
Oh, yeah.
And then just, problem solved.
Don't mind me, I'm throwing garbage into the ocean.
Yep.
Like, I would honestly be fine if they did a Control game that was just messing with objects of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like ADVs, because some of the most interesting stuff in this game is the weird stuff that happens to various objects of power.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And they definitely left not that it's hard to actually come up with more things for a sequel, but they definitely left a decent amount of mysteries open. Like, no, seriously, what is the former and the board?
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't defined really any of the astral stuff.
Yeah.
And, slight spoilers for Alan Wake 2, so, shut your ears if you don't want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Dr. Darling does come back.
Oh, okay.
Not in any, comprehensible way, I think is the best way to put it. But appearances on the level of open a door, see a rock video that he wrote about Jesse Faden.
Amazing.
That is another thing I will say. They do a good job of making very interesting characters, and anybody who gets, like, major live action on-screen time really makes good use of it.
That is kind of nice to see. Yeah, Darling is definitely a charming element to this game in general, too.
And they already had him on hand because he's the voice actor for Alan Wake.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
You can hear it when he's getting into, like, the lower tones. Or in some of the videos where he's, like, sad and talking about how he failed everybody. You can hear that Alan Wake-ness get into his voice a little. Any thoughts from you, Shiv?
Enjoyed it. It is a solid game through. It does have some pain points here and there, but otherwise it is overall enjoyable experience. I would love a DLC or an expansion or a game that is just messing with AWEs and objects of power. So I think that's where some of the most interesting stuff they've done in the game comes from. But besides that, it is a good game.
Yeah, I think the only thing I could say is, or the only thing I could say is, they may have, well, kind of overbuilt it a little. They do seem to want you to be going off and doing challenges and grinding for blah 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 blah, and that seems going like a bit further than it really needed to.
Yeah,
that is one of the things. We talked a little bit about this way back when we started talking about the jukebox and stuff. And my stance on it has changed, obviously, since we had that discussion, but I'm still of the opinion that they thought that people would be way more invested in playing this long-term than they actually were.
Yeah. And it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
No, you're largely playing this for the journey itself, not the gameplay as much.
It's very much a story-driven game.
Yeah.
And like the constant, here's a random group of enemies as you move through an area again, it isn't in service to that.
No, as a matter of fact, the random enemies, if anything, were probably more detrimental than anything.
Yeah.
Like, fixed encounters are fine. It's and we're walking back through this area, and his respawn. What the fuck?
And it's really annoying when you're trying to figure out where you're going. You're like, you enter an area. Oh wait, this is the wrong way. Into that area again. That was just in literally 30 seconds ago. Oh, another big random encounter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Repeat 2 or 3 times. It's just like, I'm just trying to go to the next place. Calm down.
And it's not like in a Metroidvania where you can just go, okay, screw these guys, I'm just gonna run past them. It's not exactly the most viable tactic all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't really have anything further to say on this apart from as far as Remedy as a whole goes, we will see Jesse again because Night Springs DLC focuses on 3 characters for Alan Wake 2, and one of them is Jesse.
Okay.
I have no information beyond that. I don't know what the context is, but I do know that one of the people that are focused on the DLC is Jesse, so we'll see more of her. Which leaves us to where we are going next in the Remedyverse, which is Alan Wake 2. A game that has won multiple awards, a game that has sold very well, although I do not know if at the time of this recording it has actually made back its budget yet. That was a concern. The budget for this game was massive, or not Control, obviously, but Alan Wake 2. The budget for Alan Wake 2 was massive, even after it sold very well by modern gaming standards, like multiple millions of copies. Still has not made a profit, I think. I think it maybe has broken even. With all that said, it is probably my least favorite game in the Remedyverse.
Wow. Not gonna lie, that's actually kind of surprising to hear.
Yeah, I was surprised too. But that is a game we will get to much later, and I will go over my grievances with it when we actually get to it. For the moment, we're done with Control. So, I believe we had something selected as in the pipeline for Thursdays going forward.
Yes, I do have something planned. I'll talk with you guys after stream, and everyone else can be surprised or something.
Excellent. The surprise will be palpable. Alright. Well, with that then, I'm going to stop throwing objects into the nebulous void. And
where they belong.
We're going to call it here. Thank you for joining us on our Sound Goblin Thursday gaming session. I have been your host, the Krampus.
I've been Hunter Grain. Shit might be muted.
And I'm neither of those guys.
Alright. Remember to join us on Sunday for SD Gundam G Generation Overworld as we get to what I believe is the last of the D missions? Close to it.
Think we just did that, actually.
No,
next week.
We're not doing it.
We are the last one.
Yeah.
Last one. Join us on Monday as we continue through and finish Elden Ring, or do we still have a lot more to go in Elden Ring?
No.
We're not finishing Elden Ring tomorrow.
All right, we're in it for the long haul then for Shadow of the Earth.
We have plenty to do.
Yeah. We have plenty to do, but it's probably not. Probably 3 or 4 more sessions. I don't know.
And join us on Thursday for the start of a new game. What game is it? Well, let's tune in to find out. Assuming anyone cares. I hope you care.
Harsh.
We care.
I care.
Harsh to all of our
Hey.
zero viewers.
We get views on YouTube, but we've been over this.
Yeah.
We do get some small amount of views on those.
And anyway, until then, I've been the Krampus.
And Shiv again.
Ivan Hunter Green.
And I visit. Wait, haven't we done this already?
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
Might-
Oh no, we're in a time loop again.
Just don't.
No.